joining us today, along with interim coach Alex Wood, is your sophomore linebacker Jared Franklin. Jared's coming off one of his best games of his career. He had 3 tackles for loss against Akron on Tuesday. So with that, Coach, why don't you open up with a statement, and then we'll take questions.
Yeah, we're just really excited about getting back on track with a win against Akron. A team that came in with high hopes, obviously, of advancing to a 5-win win-loss record, at this point. But the main thing is that we got back on track, and now we need to stay on track with our next football game coming up against Kent State.
Okay, Coach, could you just, I'm sure you've scouted Kent pretty well fully to this point. Just what do you see from them?
They're a group that plays really hard on both sides of the ball. They've had some mishaps, obviously, in special teams, as well as just not getting some breaks, offensively and defensively. But they play hard. They've played each and every game pretty close to the vest in terms of margin of losses. Okay, it's been between a 7 and 10 point games in a lot of their big games, and then obviously they had a breakout game against Army, where they were able to score, I think, over 40. I know, and they're a dangerous football team. Obviously, they're so close in so many games, but yet they just can't find the winning formula in the fourth quarter. Again, just last week against Bowling Green, they were down early, and then they rallied back in the second half and got within 10 points. So, that's the kind of football they're playing right now, and they'll come here again. They'll be hungry for a win. They play like they've got a lot of pride. They play hard. They're sound. Football team from a fundamental standpoint. So it'll be a very competitive football game for us with Kent.
Schematically, what can you say? How would you describe their defense?
They're a 4-down defense. They're primarily quarters and coverage. They will play some man-to-man cover one. With middle of the field closed coverage, but that's what they do primarily. They will pressure you. They've shown 6-man pressures, with what we call cover 0. So, but basically they'll line up in a 4-down and build from there.
And then who stands out on their defense? I mean, if you could pick a couple players that kind of jump out on film.
Yeah, they've got their free safety, Holly. He's their leading tackler. He's a big physical guy. He does a good job. I think Pennell, the corner, is an experienced guy. He's a senior, obviously, does a good job. And then LC Refuge, number 7, their outside linebacker. He's made a lot of tackles, made a lot of plays for him, does a good job. And then obviously Dellinger, their middle linebacker, is a good football player. They're playing a couple of freshmen up front who I think are holding their own, and doing a good job. But the guys that stick out are the guys that I mentioned.
Seems like most teams stick with nickel as opposed to going to a lot of depth. Do you agree with that? I'm just off the top of my head. You don't see as much dime.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't know that folks have the luxury of having the personnel to go dime, So nickel seems to be, the answer, and usually you can find a linebacker a lot like Jared that can stay in the game, that can run and cover real well, so you don't have to. So
it's a question of having that cover corners.
Absolutely, yeah.
The fourth cover corner.
Right. Exactly, yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
That's the question.
All right. Jared, just what do you think went right in the last game against Akron for you?
I feel like a lot of it was confidence, and I know that especially our defense and our offense, we knew that we needed to draw a line in the sand. That Ohio game was really a turning point because we knew that we need to have each other's back. If something bad happens on the offense, we know that the defense has to step up. Same, vice versa. When the defense does something bad, we know that the offense will have our back. So it's just, that's what we have to bring to the table when we have like a family relationship. We have each other's back no matter what.
What do you think? I mean, are you how does your comfort level? Obviously, you played a lot last year, but you've really been thrown into the fire this year. How would you describe your season?
It's an experience, just everything at once, playing behind Khalil Mack last year. It really is, and I'm blessed every day to be able to play D1 football. I count my blessings. Everything just it worked out for me, and I feel like this team is, we all have each other's back. We're all pushing for the same thing, and I feel that now because I'm feeling that Khalil felt that last year because, everyone was talking about MAC championship, working towards something, and no matter what the circumstances, no matter what, our goal is to win every game, one game at a time.
What aspect of the game have you feel like you've gotten better at as the season's gone on?
I think I've become more physical. A lot of that is because of confidence, as I said before. Confidence is a big thing, and when you practice at something over and over and over and you get it in your mind, like exactly what you need to do, you can hit it at 100% constantly, and that really helped me.
The third down defense has gone, really you're first or second in the conference. What do you think has gone right there?
We know that we've had some ups and downs with our third down defense, and now we know exactly what we need to do. And it's not just with me; it's with guys like Adam Redden, Boise Ross, and our defense has been changing a lot. Boise moving from offense to defense, and I feel like everyone's confidence level, not just mine, has gone up significantly. And we know that my confidence is getting better. Boise's, Adams, the linebacking core, the defensive linemen, everyone's getting better at that. And when we know that everyone has confidence, it makes our defense seem more stable. It makes our defense go 100% all the time.
Alex, what do you think about that third down defense from what you've seen?
Well, we've been able to apply some pressure in those situations as well. And just like Jared says, I know guys are playing with a great deal of confidence in one another, making plays, understanding that we are in third down and the objective is to get off the field. And they understand that as a unit. So I think there's obviously a lot to that, schematically, and what Jared talked about, everyone being on the same page about getting off the field on third down, and then execution of fundamental defensive calls.
Jared, do you think you've gotten more aggressive since Coach Wood's taken over?
I feel like I have, yes, because a lot of it, it is confidence, but with Coach Wood coming in, it's a lot about team unity. That's what he focuses on. And I love that because instead of just being a bunch of individuals playing the game, it's a team. We are a team. The thing that we do after we warm up, when we all break down and it's all in unity, that it may seem like just a simple thing, but that signifies a lot. That signifies that we're not just individuals, we're a team and we move as one.
Do you think you've dropped as much as rushed?
I feel like I've actually dropped more than I've rushed. Yeah, recently, yeah. But, I feel like a lot of the quarterbacks look at me and they see me as a safety instead of a linebacker, and I haven't really gotten a lot of action, them passing my way. But, maybe one day they'll start passing my way and I'll be able to do something about it.
But, obviously mobility is one of your assets.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like you defended the draws
Yeah.
last week pretty good. You had I don't know whether it was anticipation or
Mm-hmm.
you knew what do you think about that?
Again, that just comes with confidence. The coaching staff, they put in a great game plan to defend against those because, that's been one of the weak spots in our defense. We need to defend against draws and screens and everything like that. And, the schemes that we had, we just studied them and they've been working because everyone's on the same page. Because before, we've been having problems with communication as well. And when we know that we're all on the same page, we can communicate it clearly and before the snap goes off.
I don't know if you've been timed in the 40 since before you. But Coach Tepper times everybody in spring, right?
He didn't time us this year.
Okay. Did you run the 40 when you came here before as a high school senior?
Yeah, I ran the 40 before. I ran a 4.5. Yeah.
4.5 flat?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. You go back, you look at that Bowling Green 36-35. There is one play, and not just a field goal. There were 5 different plays. Any one of them go differently.
Yeah.
And you're sitting here talking about, completely different scenario. I
Yeah.
mean, what do you think about that?
It's just one of those things that it's going to stick with me for a while, but the way I look at it is anything negative that happens to this team or me as an individual, I look at it as an opportunity to learn from it because, a lot of that game, we've learned from it. We've built on our communication, our confidence, our schemes, and it's been showing in the last few weeks.
Alex, what do you think about, after watching rewatching the video, what went right in the running game? What went better in the running game?
Well, I think that the biggest thing that went better is that we tried it 54 times. And we found we got back to that formula, that winning formula that it takes for us offensively to get into a rhythm, and we were able to do that on Tuesday. So I think that's really it. It's just we found a nice balance for us. 54 to, I think, what was it, 22 or 54 to 20 something run pass. And
it's working though. I mean,
yeah,
you can't
no, absolutely.
I can't
Yeah.
sit here and
Yeah.
indict yourself.
No,
when it's not doing.
No, it's working. I'm not upset or not. We like that those numbers as long as we're getting the same results. I mean, I don't think that renders us one-dimensional either. There's enough pass in there that says, hey, you got to defend the pass. You got to defend the vertical game going down the field off of play action with that stuff.
You pass more early, maybe on early downs in this game.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah.
think about that? I don't know if I could look back and check that. But
Yeah, we tried to feature some quick game a little bit more on early downs and then also play action because and that's a game time reaction. If the run's going really well, you're getting a pretty good chunk. You're efficient in the run game on first and second down, then you're more apt to call a play action pass. To try to take advantage of that and really, keep that line of scrimmage as vanilla as you possibly can.
do you go back like with the team on whatever the next day is? When's your next team meeting after a game?
Well, in this particular situation, it's today because.
Oh, really? Not until today?
Yeah, today.
You go back and play some of the highlights to the whole team that you want to emphasize?
Oh, absolutely. We'll do it as a team. We'll feature some special teams plays. That's what our meeting will consist of today. We'll feature some special teams plays, one for correction and two for inspiration. I'll do the same thing, offense and defense. We'll do that broken down into units, and there are times, as a head coach, I'd like the whole team to watch, so we watch each other. Offense and defense, what we're talking about in terms of, what's a good play, what's not so good play, those kinds of things. So, yeah, we do.
Where Anthony ran over Mizell. Did you?
We haven't.
show
I'm
them that one?
sure they've all looked at it individually, but no, we have not looked at that as a team yet, as a unit, not yet. They haven't had a chance to get together.
You need to let me pick these highlights for you.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to. Be my guest.
What do you think about that play, Jared? Did you?
I can tell you that the sideline went crazy. Yeah, especially the defense. Yeah.
Right. And then the Jordan Johnson, the element he's not exactly faster than Anthony, but can you talk about how do you view the way he complements Anthony?
Well, I just think their styles are different. Jordan can be a downhill runner. He can be a cutback runner. He does a nice job of pressing the hole. He was a quarterback, obviously, as we all know. We've talked about that numerous times in high school. But I think even in high school as a runner, he had to have the knack of having that vision of a running back, and I think I know he possesses that. So he brings that. He's a bigger guy, more physical, and just really plain and simple explanation. He takes some of the reps, off of Anthony, and he does a good job. He's efficient and productive with the role that we're giving him in every game. So that's really the kicker in the whole thing is that there's not a lot of drop off between him and Anthony when he comes in the ball game. So that's really what's key is that we feel we've got adequate depth. Where if we want to take Anthony out and give him a blow, and you put Jordan in, hey, you can still call the same offense.
Jared, real quick, just talk about your relationship with Khalil Mack and what you learned from him last year. A lot of people may not know that you roomed with him on the road, and just What did you take away from playing with him last year?
If anything, he was a great teacher, and he was a real inspiration because I came from a background of just playing defensive end, and I never played linebacker in my life. I've always had my hand in the dirt, and he just took me through the steps. He took me through the fundamentals, and it's been a great experience. And me knowing the type of player he is, him breaking all these records and going to the NFL, it's an inspiration that makes me want to, build off of what he taught me. And it shows that, through hard work and serious dedication and just aiming for high standards, then you can really achieve a lot of things.
Mark, anything else? Okay. Well,
Thank you. Appreciate it. Nice job, man.